Hey everyone, Mr. Steve 169 here, and behind me we have a 1969 Triumph Spitfire Mark III that I believe has some compression issues. It has always required some starting fluid to get started, but once it runs, it'll run just fine. So we're going to see if we can't get that fixed and get it to where it'll start under its own power. So follow along while we go through the process of getting this car working properly. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and run a series of 8 compression tests, one for each cylinder. The first 4 will be dry compression tests, and the next 4 will be wet compression tests. Alright, so cylinder number 1 at 8 cranks gave us just shy of 90 pounds. So here is cylinder number 2. And that gives us about 80 pounds. And starting cylinder number 3. And that puts us again at 90 pounds. Alright, and here's cylinder number 4. And again, we're at 90 pounds. So it's a little low, but we'll go ahead and do the wet test and see what that does. Alright, now to do the wet test, we're going to squirt about 5 squirts of oil just right into the combustion chamber on top of the piston, and that should seal the rings up better for us. And so that'll tell me if we have a ring problem, like I suspect we do. Alright, so here's cylinder number 1 on a wet test. Alright, so with the wet test, you can see there we're right about 115, which is a lot closer to where we should be. Now on to cylinder 2. Alright, so that one puts us at about 100 pounds, which is still a little low. So that one may indicate also some valve issues as well. So we'll check that out there at a later time when we pull the heads off. Alright, so wet check cylinder number 3. Alright, so that one went quite a ways higher. We're up to about 135, 140, which is great. So I don't think we have any issues with cylinder number 3. At least when we have the oil in there. So I'm still thinking pistons. Or piston rings, rather. Excuse me. Alright, so here's a wet check on cylinder number 4. And that one is great too, right at 140 pounds or so, 135, 140. So that leads me to believe that piston rings is causing my compression issue. So we will start the process of pulling the motor out so we can put some new rings in. Alright, so after running those compression tests, we're looking at a 15% loss in cylinder 1, with it sealing at 115 pounds compared to cylinders 3 and 4 at 135 with the wet test, and a 26% loss in cylinder 2 with the wet test coming in at 100 pounds versus 3 and 4 at 135. So it does confirm to me that I believe we are looking at piston rings. There may be some valve issues, which I'm not too worried about because we will be sending this head off to get an unleaded conversion put in it, where they'll put new exhaust valve seats in and new exhaust valves. We'll see what the cylinder walls look like once we get that far into it, see if we need to have a board out, put bigger pistons, bigger rings in, and go from there. So until next time, everybody have fun.